All right, let's talk about the Detroit Lions training camp battle. I think it's the third one we did so far. Training camps look like it's on track to start on the 28th. I'll start the season preview next week, God willing. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And we're talking about the receiver battle for the fourth receiver spot, probably the fifth. They probably carry five receivers. You never know. You never know. We probably gonna carry two quarterbacks on the roster. Tight end is an enigma, man. We got Jesse. It's some talks that Jesse might not make the cut. You got the kid from Washington that's probably gonna make it. You got Hockenson. You got the kid from Georgia we drafted last year. I still think we got Logan Thomas. So not telling how many tight ends we gonna hold, and we gonna carry, or how many running backs we gonna carry. So that's pretty much gonna determine offensively how many receivers we're gonna carry. But obviously, you got a receiver that got an injury history as well, and that's Danny Amendola. So who can you really stash on a practice squad as a receiver is the question. But yeah, you got some other dudes. You got a few other, receivers nobody heard of that's on the roster right now. But the ones you're looking at is Marvin Hall, Quintez Cephus, Travis Fulgham, and Geronimo Allison is the four you looking at. And to be honest, all different. Well, a couple of them are different positions as a receiver. Allison probably can play on the inside, but probably more known as an outside receiver, bigger receiver. Dropped a lot of balls in Green Bay. Just didn't live up to the bill. Maybe it'd be different in Detroit. Hall, he probably going to be more of a slot guy. We seen him play in the slot last year. Only had 7 catches, but 7 big catches. Cephus is probably going to be a slot guy. They compare him to Juice Landry with the Cleveland Browns out of LSU. And Fulgham just seemed to be a big physical receiver. He's 6'2". Can play on the outside. To be honest, I like Fulgham. I know he new to the game. He was a military brat, came back to America, and I just think, people say Quintez Cephus' ceiling is really high, but I get to him. I think Fulgham's ceiling is very high. I think he's a good athlete. He's strong, but it's a lot. You can stash him on a practice squad again. You see what he learned this summer. He can get off the line. He had a couple drops. I think those are more concentration drops in his hands. But his ceiling is just high because he's so new to the game and raw. And I like what he can do down the field as well, too. Potentially, I like what he can do with that big frame. He's a strong kid. So I really like what Travis Fulgham can bring to the table. And I might be in the very, very slim minority of what he can do as a football player, but I like what he could do. But I think you could stash him on the practice squad for one more year, and I don't think anybody will touch him. Now, Geronimo Allison, he has some big games, in Green Bay, some big catches down the field. So he may not be a 4-4, 4-3 guy, but he can get down the field on those skinny posts and those post routes. He can make some things happen. He dropped the ball a lot in Green Bay last year with the Packer fans were saying, I really don't watch all the Packer games like that, so you can probably have to delegate to the Packer fans about Allison, but he's just never really materialized into the receiver they needed him to be in Green Bay. And maybe in Detroit it'll give him a second opportunity, but I don't think he's eligible for the practice squad as well. So it's somebody they're gonna watch. But I think the battle for the fifth spot or the fourth spot is between Fulgham and Allison as the outside receiver, and I think the interior receiver battle is gonna boil down to Cephus and Hall. Now Cephus can play on the outside as well too. Okay, he played on the outside, but I think they were really saying he's going to be a really strong guy in the slot. And we know Marvin Hall could play in the slot. Marvin Hall got more experience, but I think Cephus is more talented and more polished as a receiver at this point. But Hall brings a different aspect to that receiving core, and that's that deep speed. And also, we got Jamal Agnew as well too. I can't forget about him, but I'll talk about him. Hall brings a deep speed that Cephus doesn't bring down the field. So, and also he has more pro experience than Cephus as well in the slot. Not a lot of snaps last year, but Cephus more mirrors what Amendola can do. Good route runner. I think he can learn a lot from Amendola, how to sit down in those zones, those option routes. I think Cephus could be a really, really good slot receiver in this league. And I think he's more athletic than his 40 time and his combine indicates. So yeah, I could see Cephus kind of being more what they want in the slot that Amendola is. But the hero that they need is Hall with his speed. So it may be a situation where they may look at it and say, well, Cephus can play outside, inside. He got to make the roster. And also he's a 5th round pick. And Hall gonna make the roster because we need his speed out there. So, Allison got an uphill battle coming from Green Bay, but he's played some real live snaps. He's played in this division longer than most of these guys have played in. So it's gonna determine on how everybody be working on their game. I think you see Fogham go to the practice squad, and also Jamal Agnew. What do they kind of mark him as? Is he a gadget guy? They can play on both sides of the field if we need you. Kind of like high school, you can play corner. If we really need you at the running back position, receiver position. So it's going to be interesting. The Lions got a lot of questions to answer as far as how they're going to build this roster, because they loaded at tight end as far as number of players that probably can play in this league. They loaded at receiver. They loaded at running back. Running back is Kerryon, Swift, Bo, Ty, Huntley. I mean, golly. I might even be forgetting somebody. It's 5 guys, so you got to figure out. You 5 there. You want to carry 5 running backs, or is Ty Johnson or Huntley going to go to the practice squad? I think you only got 11 spots depending on how many people. It might be an expanded roster too. So instead of 54 or 52, it might be 61, 62 players. So that we don't know. So they might can carry the majority of these players regardless. They might can carry 5 receivers, 5 backs, 3 or 4 tight ends, couple of quarterbacks. So they're going to be able to carry some more players that we don't know. But Agnew is going to be interesting because him and Huntley brings a different aspect to it, because they are speed guys and they are gadget guys. So will Agnew make the squad as a gadget guy? As like Joker kind of offensive, defensive guy. If we need you on defense, we low on players, somebody get the COVID, go play nickel. We need you a receiver, play receiver. We need you at back, play back. So I think Agnew is going to make the team as just a Joker style type of player. A player that can play multiple positions. So somebody you also look at. But if I had to have my pick, I'm probably going to have to roll with Fogham on the practice squad. Allison get the cut. And I don't know how they perform in this season, who get the COVID or nothing. This is just my projection. If everything is projected how I believe it will. Fogham back to the practice squad. Allison probably going to get cut. Okay. Agnew will make the team as a gadget guy. Hall will make the team. Cephas make the team as well. Those are probably going to be my projections right there for right now. But anything can happen. What if Allison been working and Fogham haven't? Or, whoever been working. But I seen Marvin Hall working on this core. Hopefully been working on this route running. But, to me, it was a time to move on from Danny Amendola and let, Hall do it. But when I realized Hall only had 7 catches last year, I get it. I truly, truly get it, bro. That you want to have a veteran guy there, but it's just that Amendola, their offense is just horribly slow. When you talk about Galladay is a pretty athletic guy, and Jones is just losing his step. Galladay is slow. Not Galladay, but I mean Dan Amendola is slow. And then your tight ends, you don't really have a burner other than the kid out of Washington, I believe. But, you add in the backfield, you add Huntley, you add Swift, that's speed. You add Agnew, that's speed. But it's just not speed. You need, football speed. You need somebody that can play football and break it open. And for Stafford, if he ain't able to hand the ball off consistently next year and they don't get 4 or 5 yards a pop and it's the same snag in the run game, they're going to have some problems, man, because he don't have really nobody that's with skill that can run by nobody. If Hall don't develop and Swift don't come in and do what he do, or Huntley or Agnew don't get it together, it's just going to be the same slow offense. So they got to find a way to get big plays for Stafford or a good running game. They got a good running game, big plays to come, because you start to see 8-man, 9-man creep up in the box, and Stafford will be able to get those one-on-ones, and he'll be able to drop it in the bucket. But my projection is the 5 receivers are going to be Galladay, it's going to be Jones, barring injuries. Amendola will be the 3. I think Hall and Cephas will be your 5 receivers that they will carry, especially if they expand the roster. I think they might keep Agnew as a gadget guy. So those would be kind of the 6 guys probably categorized as receiver right now for the league. For the Lions. I think Fogham goes to the practice squad. I think Allison and the rest of them get cut or fall off to the practice squad. They got a kid from Connecticut. They got a few other dudes in there. But I think the ability for Cephas to play inside and outside, but they project him as a slot receiver, it's going to keep him on his team. And Hall, his speed is just something that nobody else is bringing to the offense that's been here and been a receiver for quite some time. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you project to win the 4th or 5th receiver spot for the Lions? We're getting closer and closer. I heard the NFLPA and the NFL weren't One Pride Nation. Check his channel out. He reported that, man. So hopefully we get some football. Hopefully everybody stay healthy. hopefully you guys are healthy and safe in the city of Detroit. And everybody that's watching on, we got Lions fans from everywhere. And all the other people, fans, I've accumulated some fans from other channels, you know, or other teams, Houston, Kansas City, that watch. So I do appreciate you guys for tapping in. Check out our Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All my social media links are in the description. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, keep tapping in there. Want to make a donation, share the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. But sharing is the best way to help me out. But Cash App, PayPal, inscription one time for the one time we gone.